and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon John.
I'm Jamae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
I thought my computer glitched. I was like, damn, what happened to Jay?
I know my Wi-Fi be going out sometimes.
Okay, we are we good?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
I
now.
got we got scared. It's just the delay in between I'm Jamae and I'm Jay Trent was like big, and I was like, damn, I hope my Wi-Fi good. I was about to be real sick.
It might have been mine not being good, but as long as we here, we all
We're
right.
here now. That's all that matters. Um, Today. I feel like this episode will mainly be about college. Of course, the NCAA tournament is around the corner. I'm pretty sure the all the major conferences are having their tourneys as well. Some of them have already gotten started today, or all of them have gotten started today, as a matter of fact. So we'll probably talk about some of that, some predictions, hot takes, things of that nature. I don't know exactly if either of you two had a specific starting point that you wanted to go with.
Do we want to start with the drama or do we want to just wait a second? Because I have thoughts that I need to get off. I've been thinking about this all day, not gonna lie.
I
So you
think
let me know how we want to
Think,
start.
I was gonna say, go ahead and get it off your chest now.
yeah,
So
I agree.
just so you don't forget.
Um, to the ACC voters, y'all are going to prison. Actually, you're going to hell and prison. For those who don't know, the ACC awards came out. Hannah Hidalgo won Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Zoe Brooks won Most Improved. Um, Freshman of the Year was Toby Fournier at Duke. Uh, who else won an award? Coach of the Year was fucking Wes Moore, and and it made it worse because the website showed you like the breakdowns, and this man got almost double the votes of Niele. And it's just no fucking way in no world in following no logic should Westmore have gotten double the votes from Niele Ivey. Especially when Niele Ivey's player won Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Like, do y'all not see how those things go together? Like, I don't understand how you can say she the best player in this conference, but her coach not the best coach in this conference. And it seems like the logic is, well, Westmore beat Niele, so he should have won. But that don't make sense. Like, if we think about who Niele, both of them lost 2 games, so they both tied co-champions, regular season champions. Niele lost to Florida State, who's a 4 seed, and NC State, who's the 1 seed. So she lost to 2 teams in the top half. NC State lost to UNC, who is a 5 seed, and they lost to Cal, who I don't even know if they made the fucking tournament. How bad they started playing. Like let me go look because they started to backslide. They were seventh. So you mean to tell me because this man got this one win over this lady who was the number 1 team in the conference that we ignored that he lost to the 7th seed? That he lost to the 5th seed? And it's not even like um it's not like he got blown out by them. Like those were games that NC State very well could have won. Like NC State, he had her do some bullshit in that last play, and that's why like that was your fault, Bucko. Like I don't understand how like they were like, yeah, well, we gonna give it to Westmore. He gotta stop getting away with this. I'm being so serious. He gotta stop getting away with this. And I'm really upset that they like decided to award him with this when it's like his resume not even better than hers. Like I just I don't get it. I don't get like a coach loses the last two games of the season and she's no longer honorable or worthy of the win. Like if anything, you should have just made them co-champion, like co-coaches of the year, because they both did. I mean, just as bad. I, yeah, that's like my first gripe. Well, that's like really the main gripe. Some of these other awards were a little
Yeah,
questionable, but I can understand them. But that, y'all are going to prison. And ran for
yeah, that one just felt like it feels like they're saying we want to spread the love around a little bit because if they give in Notre Dame Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, they looking and they saying we gonna get him Coach of the Year too, because then they're gonna be like they weren't even the one seed in the ACC tournament, so it's gonna look crazy if we get them Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Coach of the Year. So they're like, you know what, we got to spread this out. So that's what it looks like to me from the outside looking in. I, I'm not saying that that's a process that I love, but that's what it appears to be to me.
That makes a lot of sense. Is it valid? Not necessarily, but I think it's kind of like how can we justify giving NC State this number one seed if Notre Dame has all these accomplishments to their name? If they have ACC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year, how can they also have the number one seed? And it's like, what? It's like you almost have to reward NC State for having the season they had in some form of fashion.
no, you don't.
But it's
Actually,
like,
they
do you?
already got rewarded with the regular season championship. Like you got rewarded. That's your reward. Like
Your reward was the
no
number one
shade.
seed.
I love them, but like they got awarded for that. Like and you got the one seed. Like you earned the one seed. Like y'all matched up evenly. You beat the team who was second, so you're like, you know what? We're number one. That's your award. That's the prize. This other stuff is not the prize. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like to me, if you were gonna give another coach an award, I mean, who's the three seed? Is it Duke? I don't Duke don't sound right.
Yes,
It is Duke.
yeah, it's Duke. Yeah, I got to pull it up right now.
um, I wouldn't give Kara that award. I'm sorry, I can't give it to her. She did baby look, but Miss Brooke at FSU, I let her have it. Like FSU, I'm pretty sure they came into the season unranked. Um, your star player is leading the conference, leading the country in points per game, and you're a four seed. Like, I don't really think they expected you to be that good, actually. So, like, if we're gonna give people
And
nods
then
for
you got
winning
like,
games, and you beat Notre
yeah,
Dame,
yeah, the statement win over Notre Dame would have like, I feel like that would be part of the case.
which like yeah, if you're gonna spread it around, give it to her. Like, you can kind of say, okay, well, like we didn't get Tanaya the player of the year, so we're gonna let them go home or something. That's the Westmore thing is crazy. I can't believe they keep letting him get away with that. I will say he's won more regular season awards than I expected, but he can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with this. I hate it.
I appreciate your consistent Westmore hate. I think this has been a very I remember the first instance of it when we were first talking about college in the very first season, and it has not wavered in any form or fashion. And I have to respect the consistency.
because he needs to go to jail. I can't. He just keep. It's like every time I think like, oh, NC State gonna like NC State started off looking crazy this year. I was like, ooh, look, they backward sliding. Most of their like core is seniors. Um, he about to fall off. And then these motherfuckers decided they wanted to be good. I was like, can y'all please? Like, anyway, hello to the chat. I don't know who Jen is, but hi, Jen. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Jen.
But yeah, he's going to prison for that. But otherwise, the other awards I thought were like fine. I will say the funniest thing to me about all of these awards, just across the conferences, is that I swore that like the first team awards were limited to like 5 or 6 players. There are like 10 people on like all of these lists. Like no bullshit. It's like 10 people. Like the ACC list has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This shit has 15 people on it. Like that's their own roster. Like how did y'all and they still got a second team. So like how did y'all just I mean, I'm sure it's like because people tied and stuff, but like there are 15 people on here. Which I appreciate though, because I think it's fair to give some of these players nods and when they otherwise wouldn't get recognized. But still, I was like, damn, there's a lot of y'all.
Well, since we're talking about the ACC currently, do we have any hot takes for the tournament and a prediction of who is the outright winner?
Let me look at
Um,
it.
y'all need to see the bracket because I actually have it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, show us.
Okay, I'll pull it up real quick.
Because low key, I'm pretty sure. Oh, so I know Notre Dame is a 2 seed, but on their side, I think they have. I feel like they have like an easier route. Um, because low key, if I was Notre Dame, I wouldn't want to play Florida State or UNC again.
I think
Right.
my hot take is that Notre Dame will be playing Florida State in the championship game.
I had that thought briefly. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I can see that. But the other part of me was like the last, well, that's kind of a good point because the last time NC State and Florida State played, NC State beat the fuck out of them. But we don't know what happened there. You know what I'm saying? The girls let it get their get back. So like I think this might be prime time. I think this might be prime time. So I could vibe with that. Um Syracuse just pissed me off. I cannot believe them. I could see Virginia getting to Notre Dame. I don't think they're gonna beat them, but I can see them making their way there.
Mm.
My hot take, and I really hate to do this, um, but Louisville as an ACC champion. I am a Jeff
Oh,
hater. Don't let's all remember. I do not like that man, but you know what I'm saying? They get a little Jaden Curry, Amari Berry get going. I don't know, cause having to play Duke, I think Duke like really beat them bad the other time. But you know what I'm saying? Again, it's turning time. People revitalize spirits. So
I will say
that's my sleeper pick.
it would not surprise me to see at least one or two of these double bye teams not making it to the next round. Only because I feel like a lot of the times you hear about uh players like regardless of sport, like at playing their sport after a long break and playing a team who just got done playing really recently is always really hard. Like, even though you're technically the better team because you got the bye, of course, but it's like they just got done doing this shit. Like they ready. And like you probably ain't done nothing strenuous for real in like a week or so. So it's like, they came prepared. They coming for blood, and you coming off a nice little break. Somebody, at least one person, I think is going. They gonna get their feelings hurt coming out this double bye.
And honestly, I feel like Duke is probably that team. They already don't be acting like they don't know what offense is. So they might get caught slipping. I wouldn't be shocked if they got caught slipping.
And just to for an update, um, Virginia beat Pitt earlier today, and Stanford lost to Clemson.
Real bad too.
Yeah, it was ugly. Um, I just saw. Let me see if I can find it. What the streak was for Stanford? I know obviously they're a different team now, but
36, I think it's 1987 was the year. They haven't missed the tournament since 1987, and they finna miss it this year, which is nasty
yeah,
business. But also,
it was
like,
the
it
second
makes
it's the
sense.
second longest streak in tournament history behind Tennessee.
Nasty business.
Yeah, yeah, it's that's rough.
Yeah, rip to them. But I think they'll be better next year. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
I
they
think
had a
so
good
too.
team now. They just new young coach, new conference. They kind of had a lot of odds stacked against them. It wasn't designed for them to win.
Yeah, there was a lot of roster turnover too.
Yeah.
Losing your legendary coach and Cam Brink and Kiki Iriafen is really really hard for anybody.
Sam
Let's
said he
see.
thinks Notre Dame is still gonna win ACC. I feel like they need to win. They like if they want to be a one seed, they have to win. Granted, I think they could still win. Like I wouldn't, I would still pick them to win, I think. But they kind of need to win. Because the clearly the
Yeah,
what have you done for me lately is not on their side. So
yeah, it was them. It was really them back-to-back losses was what hurt the perception of them in the end.
I'm not a big fan of pressure talk, but I do feel like they have the most pressure to win out of all these other teams. Some of these teams are playing with like house money. It's like the farther we advance, it's like, okay, it's cool. But like if Notre Dame does anything other than win, they kind of look crazy.
Do you feel that way about NC State?
I think if NC State makes it to the championship game and it is another good game against Notre Dame, I wouldn't be like, I don't know. I guess I just feel like they don't. Oddly enough, even though they're the number one seed, I don't feel like they have the same expectation.
they don't
Well,
because
I
nobody
agree, but
expected them to
But
be
I
I,
agree,
there.
but
but
that's
I,
that's why I was asking. That's why I
but
was
I,
asking
and
because
I, and
I
I,
agree that they
yeah,
don't.
And they're still what? In the poll, they were ranked like I think they were a three seed in the reveal. So like it's only
Let me
really
see.
up from here to them. Like assuming they don't lose their first game, they can still fucking host. Like I don't think this I don't think their outcome is gonna drop them no further. Because I don't really see anybody else in the tournament like doing so well that they like jump them. So I don't think they got nothing to lose. Like, which is crazy, but that's what I'm saying. He can't keep getting away with this. Like, why does your team consistently have no expectations and y'all get the cruise? They cruised their asses to what, the final four last year? Or is that Elite Eight?
Yeah, they were. We're in the Final Four. They played South Carolina, right?
Yeah. I think it was the Final Four.
It was the Final Four, as a matter of fact, because it was like I think it was the first time in a really long ass time, if like ever, that the men and the women's Final Four teams were both
Yes,
in the Final Four.
you're right.
Come on
DJ
now, Zoe.
Burns. Yep, I remember
That's
that.
right.
Um,
So yeah, I don't feel like they have the same expectation. I think they're not necessarily playing with house money, but I think if they get to the championship, it should be they should not feel like the pressure is on them. Uh, I think Florida State, if they get to the championship game, they are playing with house money, and I also feel that way about Duke. If Duke beats Notre Dame, they should feel like we done did this is our championship.
no, really, because Notre Dame beat the fuck out of them. And everybody expected them to play better, and they was like, nah, y'all got it. So really, if they do, like, it kind of ain't that. They need to go back and give Carl that trophy. West need to come up off that. No shade. But yeah.
So let's look at um the SEC tournament.
We want to talk about the SEC awards? What the girls are arguing about?
I I I I know you got a lot to say.
The funny part about this shit is like I literally don't even give a fuck. Like I tweeted that out earlier. So for people who don't know, earlier I tweeted so Madison Booker posted it one player of the year and I tweeted out that she was not top 10 in points, rebounds, steals, blocks, or assists. So none of the like my five major statistical categories, she was not top 10 in any of them. And I just tweeted it because I was genuinely looking the shit up. Like I was like, I need to see like I need to see what's like I need to understand the context of this conversation that's happening. Um, because honestly, I did think Anissa Morrow was gonna win. I was like, she'd have hit 100 double doubles. Like she is vital to what LSU does. Like LSU's a top they're the 3 seed. So like I was like, I expect her to win. But when Madison Booker won, I had to be like, oh girl. But this is another case of the fucking player of the year and the coach of the year came from the same program, which is some bullshit tier too. And y'all are going to prison because why do y'all keep saying like people keep being like, well, Vic is at the top of the SEC and this is his first year in the conference. This nigga used to coach here. He already his team blew it down. Why y'all get like why y'all acting like you Tim Conwell? That nigga before. And y'all
Mm.
y'all. But anyway, that's beside the point. I was like, let me just go see what her numbers are because I mean we saw her like be in big games, be like hella inefficient and just look crazy. And we know how much credit she gets for Texas winning. So I was like, like let me just see for myself. And when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, girl, like this is kind of crazy." However, she is not the first person this happened to. In 2019, I'm lying, 2020. I made a spreadsheet about this. I'm pretty sure it was 2020 though. Um, Lauren Cox at Baylor also was not in the top 10 in any statistical category and she still won. Why? Because she was the like Swiss Army knife for Baylor. And I think they carried that same logic for Madison Booker, which to some extent I do think is true. Like I do think she kind of does a lot for them, and I think like from her being a freshman having to do everything, I think she really learned how to be effective without scoring. Um, And so I think she's been like really helpful to Texas with that. Do I still think it's crazy that she got it? Yeah, but like I can follow the logic of how they got there. Um, but yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. But that was it was kind of like, oh, because people started like quoting it. I didn't quote it, I didn't tweet it to for like people to be like, oh, I guess I didn't tweet it to like imply that I didn't unless I wasn't happy for her. I just I was just shocking to me a little bit because I was like, damn, usually, at least when I saw like when I looked at all of it, the last like 5 seasons for like all the Power Four conferences, usually the person who wins is top 10 in at least like two categories, if not the top player in one specific category. So I was like, damn, she's not in these numbers at all. That's kind of wild. And she's not far off. She's like top 20, I think, in points, in top 20 in something else.
Rebounds, assist.
I don't, it's not one of them. It's something else.
Is it steals?
I think it's points and I don't even think it's steals. It's not one of the like top five. I'm pretty sure she's like 15 in points. And then she's like, maybe it's field goal percentage or free throw percentage. She's like top 10 in that or top 20 in that. Anyway, I did not want to apply that. I was not proud of Madison Booker. Like, congrats to my sister. Back-to-back player of the years in two separate conferences. She kind of ate that. But that's it's kind of wild. It is kind of wild to see. Like, not gonna lie,
It
I did
is.
not expect that.
Uh, I think definitely from the way the conversation has been, I thought Anissa Mora was gonna walk away with it as well. Um, I think Sam tweeted this earlier, but I feel like they were following the best player on the best team logic, and
Mhm.
as unfortunate as that is for Anissa, I can. It's kind of one of those things where like it might not be something I necessarily agree with, but I can't be terribly mad at. Like if that's the logic you're gonna go with, like if that's what you consider MVP or player of the year or whatever in any sport, it's like, okay, like I get it. Um, your numbers may not be gaudy, but it seems like they voters may recognize like, okay, this is what she is the reason or majority of the reason that they are this good, regardless of how her stats may look, because stats don't tell the whole story all the time. Um, so yeah, it was surprising, but you know, it is what it is. Um, I we'll just have to see how this shakes up. But yeah, best player on best team. I can't ever be too mad at.
Yeah, I just looked. She was 14th in points, 14th in rebounds, and 20th in steals.
Okay.
Those were her top 20 ranks.
So it's like not off, right? Like top 20 is not bad, especially
Yeah.
given that like Texas isn't some like offensive powerhouse in the same way that a LSU is. Um, so I don't hate it, but
Yeah, and it comes with like Texas being co-champion. They they kind of it's one of those things where rewarding the season, which fine, it's not.
again, they already got an award. I don't know why we need
Yeah,
to keep doing
it's
that for them,
it's
but
one of those. It's one of those things where it's one of those things where I understand the thought process. It's not my favorite process when it comes to voting, but I'm not a voter, so y'all can just tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and y'all will be right. So
Them folks be doing anything out there. I ain't gonna hold you up. They be doing anything. But otherwise, SEC awards I thought was cute. Georgia Amore got newcomer. Michaela Blakes was freshman of the year, obviously. You put up 250 balls. I don't think we really having any other conversations. Um,
250 balls is insane.
And was second
insane.
in the SEC in scoring. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She could have won player of the year. I mean, at this point, look, fucking Vanderbilt was what, top eight? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, Vanderbilt. Let's see. What is
I
Vanderbilt in the SEC? They are eight.
yeah, like I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like she been anyway. Claire Strack won Defensive Player of the Year. I do have a little beef with this one. Just a tiny bit of beef. Just a tiny bit of beef. Only because Claire Strack does lead the SEC in blocks per game. Um, However, South Carolina, Texas, and Ole Miss are the top three defensive teams in the SEC. And you mean to tell me that neither one of them has like an impressive defensive player that you could have gave the award? Like, you don't have anybody that like you feel like anchors any of those defenses? Because I mean, I could give you a player for each team if we being for
Yeah,
real.
it feels like they were like, we're gonna look at steals and blocks and just go from there. Which I I have more beef with this as a concept. I don't have a beef with Clara Strack. I like her.
Yeah,
But like I don't like the we're going to quantify defense using counting stats. I don't care for that.
because I feel like too it just like kind of minimizes too like what teams do defensively. And then we have conversations where people are like, zone isn't real defense or real strategy in basketball. And then that's when I have to call you bitches stupid. That's a tangent. I'm not going there. Um, but I think it just minimizes it. And so like, I get it. Cause she is leading the league in blocks by like a big margin. Like she has like 3 blocks per game or something like that. But
Yeah,
still,
like the numbers are big, but
yeah, but like Kentucky as a defensive unit, what are they? Probably, I think fifth. They might be fifth or sixth. They weren't top three, so I feel like they could have easily gave that Sanaya Fagan, Raven Johnson, Madison Scott, Rory, fucking Taylor Jones. Anyways, Malaysia
I think
Fuali got six woman of the year, and yeah, the only other snub that the streets are talking about, which I agree with, is Camille Pierre did not get a nod for first team or second team All SEC. Um, and I do think that people have hyper focused on Michaela Blake's because of her um, offensive prowess. People are like looking at her and being like, she's Vanderbilt's um she is Vandy, but like that team kind of doesn't. They're not as successful without Camille Pierre, and I just given like how many other people on these lists, like multiple people made the list. Like I feel like they could have very easily given her a second team nod. Um, and I'm glad that
yeah,
their coach
she was
called it out.
averaging. I just look. Yeah, I just looked. I saw Camille Pierre was averaging almost 21 and 10 with 3 steals.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, on a team that ended up the 8th seed in the SEC, I feel like that's something that's worth acknowledging how great of a season you had.
I agree.
Like even if it's just a second team.
Yeah.
Who would you have taken off in replace of her?
Do they
Look,
even have to take players off?
I said, look,
They
they
be putting like
adding
30 people up
anybody on this bitch. They got 10 people up here. They can add 11.
Oh,
They ain't being strict. They could have very well, because I feel like the people who made the list, like these are all like people I would say like deserve to make the list. I'll also say Jewel Spear probably should have made a list too. That's a little suspicious that she didn't make a first or a second team. But this is kind of why I hate like player centric coverage, because you think of Tennessee and we talk about how Talasia Cooper has like done so much, and she has excellent player, love her down. Um, but Jewel has hit so many, like obviously one, she's a consistent like offensive talent, but she's also helped hit so many like timely shots that it's like if this lady is not here, they do not win. And so to like not give her also a nod to be like, yeah, you did a really good job this year, feels a little like I ain't like that. I ain't like that. And if the SEC needs to get them a third team, like I'm pretty sure the Big 12 does, like go ahead, throw a little third team on there. It don't hurt nobody.
I don't want to. I don't want to have this come across as a knock on any player. I just feel like there's still room for improvement when it comes to women's basketball coverage. And I think the main the main issue that is still prevalent is when we talk about the success of a team, we tend to hyper focus on one player. And it's not just women's basketball coverage. We do this with basketball, period.
Yeah.
We tend to we tend to say, oh, this team is good because of X player, not because of this player and the scheme that they run and coaching and rotation and all of that. They really just it's very they look at it very cut and dry.
I will say I do
And I
think.
think that's
Oh, my bad.
I think that's been no, I was just gonna say I think that that's been like the biggest issue for a while. And I do think with time it'll get better, but that's kind of where we at. And and I think that leads to players who play quote unquote lesser roles or even secondary roles not getting the credit they deserve a lot of the time.
I was gonna say, thankfully, I feel like women's basketball coverage is like, oh, women's basketball as a whole is like slightly more connected to their fans than like men's basketball is. There are certain aspects of men's basketball that I feel like is a lost cause. Uh, just because like it has gone really corporate. Um, and it's a lot more about like how much money can be garnered. So, uh, like you said, it can get better, and it probably I can't see it not. But yeah, it's really just a presentation thing, and like I feel like your job as a basketball presenter is to highlight as much as you can and not just be like a spark notes like this team is good because of this player, this team is good because of this player, this team is good because of this player, because I think it helps with like casual slightly, but then you kind of want to expand once they're like, okay, well, I like this player on this team, so like now I get to learn about these other players, like what's happening at that. Like you don't want to just stick them with this one player and call it a day.
Well, this is why I don't think you should make coverage directed to like I don't think you should make coverage directed to casual fans. And that's it's funny that I say that because I feel like most of the stuff that I talk about is for casual fans. But like it shouldn't be done in a way that's like it's too simple. Like you need to like bring the whole picture there and then let them pick out what they gonna because you they gonna remember whatever they gonna remember, right? Like if you talking about a team of people
Hmm.
and well, if you talking about South Carolina, for example, you talking about as a team and how they work and yada yada yada. Um, you start showing clips of that team and somebody see Tina Pow Pow shooting multiple threes, if that's the kind of thing that they like, they're gonna be like, okay, I like her. I'm gonna follow her. I'm gonna remember her name. I'm gonna look for her.
Hmm.
And so it's like you don't even really need to like you don't need to, like I obviously I think it does them a disservice to be like, yeah, here's Malaysia Fool Wiley. She is the human highlight reel, and like you're not talking about why she even has the ability to do some of the things that she's doing. Um,
Hmm.
that and it's not just like raw talent. A lot of it is, she's a very talented person, but like she's on a team where she has a big who runs the floor. She's on a team where her starting point guard um, is on your ass. So she's putting pressure on this player. It's easy for her to jump in the passing lane. Like it makes there are benefits there that the people around her are helping her with, and like that's not. I don't think that's anything. I don't think that takes anything away from in this case Malaysia as a player, but like I don't get why we can't do it that way, but whatever.
I mean, I think that's why football coverage and football presentation is so good because I don't think they, for the most part, I feel like they don't try to like dumb down anything. Like they gonna tell you the most complicated coverages and what this player is about to do and why they did it. And it's like if you don't understand, well, that's your fault. And it's really, really good. It's like even though I kind of casually watch football, I'm like, damn, you can really tell these niggas really care. Like they really love this shit. Yeah, there is nothing but love in them talking about the sport. It might be like on Good Burger where he's like, I know some of these words, but that's my fault. I'll learn them on my own time. But yeah, the presentation on that be good. So but yeah, I think it'll get better. Do we have any SEC hot takes and who we feel like will be the outright winner of the
All right,
tournament?
let me get this. Let me get this.
I don't
Let me
care.
get this
South
bracket
Carolina
pulled
needs
up.
to win. I need all the narratives to
Oh, they
stop
better.
today.
They better. They better.
Today.
It's gonna be yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna
Like,
look pretty bad for them if they do not. But this is the SEC bracket.
I need my sister to lock in. Okay. Wait, okay. Tennessee won today. Georgia
Yeah,
won.
Tennessee won.
Mississippi State won, and Auburn and Florida are currently playing. Um, my sleeper team is Ole Miss,
Mm.
Mm.
and because Ole Miss has the same problem as Duke, and I keep saying that they're like low key cousins. Because the defense, they got you. The offense, though, sometimes they be like, I don't want to do that. And so I need my sisters to lock in. They're my sleeper team, but obviously um South Carolina. I need y'all to I need the discourse to stop. Sunday at 5 p.m. I don't want to hear it no more. Gotta wrap that up. Wrap it up.
So um yeah, Auburn and Florida is a 2 point game right now. Um Georgia beat Arkansas by 5. The other two games were blowouts. Tennessee beat Texas A&M by 40, and Mississippi State beat Mizzou by 20.
They said Mississippi State went on a 30-0 run.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
nasty.
what's in the air, but like Pitt playing SMU did something to the fucking timeline. Cause why are the girls not scoring? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Mississippi State outscoring Mizzou 45-16 in the second half.
Oh, Charlie.
43, I'm sorry, 43-16 second half.
My hot take is that it'll be South Carolina and LSU in this championship game, and somebody else will be playing South Carolina in the semifinal. I don't think Kentucky is making that.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh, that's
You
ooh.
think you think Reagan Beers and Oklahoma get there?
I don't. I mean, it'll probably be them. I don't know. I think when your team is spearheaded by a small guard, I don't know. It's like this could either go really good or really bad. And if Georgia Amore is not Georgia Amore for one game, it's gonna look really funny.
They do okay, but they do have Claire Strack and Tiana Key.
No, absolutely.
They be
I definitely respect their other pieces like
no,
that.
this is why we talk about the like not talking about players like teams as a central coverage because all year we keep hearing about Georgia A. Moore carrying that team. Claire Strack is the fucking reason why they winning. Like I get no shade to Georgia, beautiful gowns, but Clara Strack went fucking 11 for 11 from the floor when they played. Was it was it LSU?
That was
Not LSU. Who they
yeah,
played
when
this?
did we just talked about that game.
Yeah, it was last week. I don't fucking know, but 11 for 11 is crazy.
Was it Tennessee?
Yes, it was Tennessee because they beat them by like 30. Um,
Yeah.
she like, come on, like that's my sister's the one. You know what I'm saying? Like Kenny Brooks, you might be going to jail, but you kind of ate with that. You ate that one little thing. You ate that one.
I think what's really making me, I guess, hyper focus on Georgia Amore is because I'm specifically thinking of their game against LSU. Like
Oh yeah.
they were giving LSU that work in that first half. Like uh let me look at this. So Georgia Amore ended the game
Did she even
uh
score in the second half? Because I
on
remember, I know what you're talking
six.
about.
She was 6 for 22. Mind you, and she made one shot in the first quarter and three in the second. And then she did not score again until the fourth.
South Carolina,
Uh
I mean LSU won that game, didn't they?
yeah. So eh, Kentucky was giving them that work in that first half, and then LSU put belt to ass, and it got really nasty. Uh, because Kentucky scored 14 points in the first quarter, 24 in the second quarter, so they outscored LSU by 10 in that quarter. And then LSU outscored them in the third, 23-6. So it's just like, this Kentucky can get nasty in a derogatory manner. So
I don't.
I feel like if any of them double bye teams going home early, I think it's them.
I mean, too. I think Oklahoma. I mean, not just because they're the 5 seed, but because like they kind of have the same setup. Like Reagan Beers is their big, and then Peyton Verhulst is their like their their shooter who's a point guard. Um, and so when my sister's hot, like it's really gonna be about who shoot better at this point. So good luck to them girls.
Jay, what's your hot take?
this is not my strong suit. Um, I think LSU can win the tournament.
Ooh.
I think they can
After
too.
their little backslide, I mean, I do think they have something to prove. Like if we talking about teams
They
who
do. I think. See,
pressure,
and it's one of those things where it'll be one of those games where I watch it. I'm like, you can't look at the numbers and quantify this. Like if LSU, like assuming it's LSU and South Carolina, LSU has the talent to to just come out and blitz them. I would not pick them to win the game, but I can see a path to them winning. That's how I'll put it.
upset material. Okay. I I like that. I like that. Cause like I mean, the LSU did get upset by Alabama and Ole Miss, but they really shouldn't have lost them games. Granted,
Mhm.
though, they're not gonna have Flau'jae,
Oh,
so
that's right. She's out for the tournament. Yeah, I'm taking that back. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Um,
they might be cooked
yeah,
for them.
yeah. I forgot just that quick because they were saying. I remember before the game started, it wasn't made super clear, but then afterwards, Kim Mulkey was like, "Yeah, she's not gonna be able to play like at all until the the big tournament."
Low-key though, if they did make it to the championship and they had to play South Carolina, I'm pretty sure that lady getting up off that bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like I miraculously healed. I'm not joking. I know. I know. She like the rest of y'all don't matter, but South Carolina play, we're getting up. You need to get in here. But that's really funny.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I mean, I do think they could have. They should have beat Alabama without. They should have beat both of them without. Like they shouldn't have lost neither one of those games.
mhm.
But I am really proud of Ole Miss for like not being boneheads for real. Like I couldn't watch the game because I swear to God, every time I cut the game on, Ole Miss started losing. I said, I do not want to keep giving these people bad juju. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna leave the TV off. Um, but for them to like pull that out and to like overcome, I was like, wow, really proud of them. So yeah. Oh, we'll see. That'll be fun. Um,
I want Texas to show me something though.
you believe in them?
Not
That was
yet,
derogatory.
but
I was
I feel
really
like they can
looking
give
at
me a
you.
reason to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I do not believe in Texas, but I feel like they can give me a reason to.
I'm really trying to like them. It's crazy because I don't think I dislike them. I just don't feel like I see the vision, but I feel like I should see the vision. You know, like they have won the
Mhm.
games, the things have happened, but like I'm just like not I'm not I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. In the same way like NC State, I'm not really drinking it. I could see how y'all got here, but I'm just not quite there yet. Even though I love them down. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know, guys.
It's like I look at their roster and I'm like, I like this team, but I don't know. I'm gonna need some performances in this tournament from them to make me believe a little bit more than I do right now.
That's fair. If Rory have a good stretch of games, then I think I'll believe in them. Cause I feel like she's the one that's kind of been the wild card for me. Like Maddie has been up and down, but like again, she's able to kind of do some other things to like still help. But Rory is the one that I'm like, what are you going to do to contribute to the group?
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, Big 12.
Yeah, let's look at it.
The awards, Haley Van Lith won Player of the Year and Newcomer of the Year. Delaney Gibb won Freshman of the Year. JJ Quinterly, my girl at the 757 won Defensive Player of the Year. Yaya Felder from Baylor won Sixth Player of the Year. And Mark Campbell won Coach of the Year. Another example of Player of the Year, Coach of the Year combo. It's starting to become a thing. I might need to go back and look at that to see because it's getting to when the um I will say though, Haley Bailiff. I mean, I wanted Audie Crooks to win, obviously, but I respect the Haley Bailiff choice. She's actually been very, very good. And if it wasn't her, I think I would have picked Serena Sundell. But since it's clearly a tag team award, Jeff Mitty could not have won that award. Sorry to that man. So only right.
I'm just glad
Let
that.
me get this
Oh, I know I don't need TCU to win anything in this tournament for basketball god reasons.
reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
For more reasons, they
More
are not
reasons.
they are not allowed to win anything. Can't see that girl happy. I do love Haley Van Lith. Yeah, I'm sorry you're gonna be caught in the crossfire of my hatred.
Rip to that girl.
Ain't no wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with a good ain't nothing wrong with a good hate watch.
I think, I mean, I we didn't pull up the bracket yet, but I think Baylor's my pick to win it all.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
They're trending upward at the right time. Aaronette Valet remember how to play basketball, and it's the greatest thing I ever seen in my life. Um, I love it down. My sister remember. Um, and two, when Baylor played TCU for the Big 12 regular championship, and Sarah Andrews, I don't think she scored at all. And she's like their sharpshooter. I think maybe she had 2 points actually. She's like their sharpshooter. So it's like if she just has a better game, TCU might be cooked. TCU might be cooked. I don't know. But they're my pick to win it all. I think.
Let's see.
I don't know if I have a sleeper pick. We'll see.
I don't know if I have a sleeper pick either, but I do know I do like West Virginia.
Love my sisters down. Go ahead, Mark Kellogg. We talk about somebody's defense that works. Look, fucking Kim Caldwell need to call him or watch some film or something because talk about a press that work. I mean, it's headed by JJ Quinterly and she's like so quick and like just like has really good vision or whatever. But bruh,
All
Sharma.
right, so here's
Hello.
the Big 12 brackets.
Okay. Um,
And let me pull up
I said
the
think
games that have already.
I think Colorado already won, and I want to say Cincinnati won. I
Yeah,
know
I'm pulling it up.
Colorado won, but
Let's see. Oh, shoot, what did I do?
I think Texas Tech and Kansas might still be playing. Oh no, they
They
still.
are. Yeah. Texas Tech and Kansas are at halftime, I believe. Yeah, halftime. Texas Tech is up by 4.
Okay.
Um, UC UCF beat BYU.
Okay.
Colorado beat Houston, and Arizona State beat Cincinnati.
Ooh, Cincinnati girl. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
Baylor's might
they
win
lost
it all.
by 7.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Um, yeah, Baylor's might win it all. West Virginia is my sleeper pick. Well, actually, I'm gonna say Oklahoma State is my sleeper pick. Yeah, I like that.
I I like I like West Virginia. I like West Virginia here. I guess that's a sleeper though, because I do think Baylor is probably. I think Baylor matches up pretty well with any of these teams for the most
Mhm.
part. But
TCU,
I
I
want to
need your
believe in K
downfall.
State. I would I would love to believe in K State.
I want to believe in them so bad. Serena Sandel, the icon, truly, honestly,
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
I,
it,
I like Sundown a lot.
they need to put her on the draft boards. I'm tired of the disrespect. Um, what pick the Fever got? 19.
I believe.
If
I
y'all
think
let
so.
her pick, I will make the call my fucking self. Amber will hear from me. Um, but
Let me
no,
look at that.
I really like K-State. Serena Sundell has been like amazing. Terrence Sides has been really good too. Um, but yeah, I feel like I mean it's funny
Yeah.
none of us
So
wanted TCU, but obviously kind of being haters, so never mind.
yeah. So Indiana has pick 19 and 20.
Let me start adding Miss Amber today. Just in case. If you happen to see the name Sundale Fall at night, like pick her, get my sister. We could use her. hmm Um, okay. You want to do Big Ten now?
Yes, Big
Because
Ten.
this is where things get juicy. Not really, but kind of. This should low key feel like the fucking WNBA all over again. But we didn't really get into discourse about it, which is a little funny to me.
Maybe people are discoursed out. Who am I kidding? We know how y'all get down.
Literally, you know how these people get down. They you get never discourse never dies. They got motherfucking people arguing about Aaliyah Boston winning South SEC Player of the Year 2023. Bitch, it's been 2 years. Move on.
It's one of the things where it's like I'm impressed that y'all are still mad, honestly. But I'm the type to do that too. So I can't really blame you. But that just feels so small though. It's just like, come on now. Like there's more stuff to be mad at.
Anyways, Big Ten Player where awards Player of the Year is Juju Watkins. Defensive Player of the Year is Lauren Betts. Freshman of the Year is Jelani Cambridge and Olivia Olson. Sixth Player of the Year is Janiyah Barker, and Coach of the Year is Lindsey Gottlieb. Another example of Player of the Year, Coach of the Year being tied together. Um, how do
I
y'all
think that
feel
one,
about this? How do
I
y'all feel
think
about
that
Player of the Year?
one is especially funny because I think you've seen all the discourse with Lindsey Gottlieb, like regardless of the fact that USC was winning, it was not attributed to her in the slightest, like none whatsoever.
With, and
Uh,
I think that was unfair to her.
oh no, absolutely.
Deeply,
So
deeply.
it's like it was unfair to her, but it's I'm sure she should feel slightly vindicated in some form or fashion. But it's like it kind of I think that. we talk about this all the time. We don't know what goes into coaching, but also when teams win, it typically is attributed to the players, and when teams lose is attributed to the coach. Um, like even in the USC and UCLA game, the first one, when USC was down early, it was like, oh, Lindsey Gottlieb is tripping, even though certain people just couldn't like get a bucket,
I
and
say
like
you
that's
can
not
name
her fault.
names. She was bad. My sister got it
You know,
right though.
sometimes it's one of the things where it was like, oh, if they win, it's the players was carrying, and if they lose, it's the coach need to lose her job, and it's just
No, but
like,
I will say to Lindsay's defense, honestly, after we didn't even get to talk about the second USC UCLA game. Um, but honestly, if we don't have any like other examples of her coaching, she coached the fuck out of that game because Kiki, TVO, Kennedy, all three of them had 3 fouls in the first half, and only TVO fouled out.
mm,
So to be able to manage your players in a way where you still win the game and they still can contribute in the way that they need to, and you're like, I like honestly, she ate that. Like I cannot allow them to slander her any further because
That game probably won her Big 12 coach or Big Ten coach of the year. Oh,
it had to have,
no, I think it, yeah, I think it did, and it also, all right, we'll get to that later, but
is the reason why Lauren Betts lost because like we let's start there. Let's start there.
see, I was gonna wait, but yeah, yeah,
Mm-mm.
I think it's
yeah,
it's
that's
it, it it's kind of funny how like we were talking about how I think Juju had last. I know we talked about we don't want to make this a what have you done for me lately, but Juju had a really crazy second half of the season. And before, when people
she
were,
was she was snatching chains, bro. You can say it.
yes, yes, when people were talking about National Player of the Year and including her in it, I was definitely one of those people that was like, it's Lauren Betts award to lose, and then had a doggo maybe if she loses. But like Juju came and she whooped everybody ass in front of her. She said, "Bet, bet I need that actually. I need that real bad." So like all hats off to her because she did her big one. She shut a lot of people up, including me. And I've never been afraid to admit when I'm wrong. But dear Lord, did she go on a tour?
Gee, but she honestly didn't really even go on a tour. She only beat UCLA ass, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, you got it." Which, like, granted, UCLA was the number one team. They was undefeated, and she beat their ass twice. So, like, she kind of ate that. I have to. And this obviously, I was a Lauren Betts or bust person too. Um, and I even still a little bit, still kind of want Lauren Betts to have it, but she ate that. Did she have 30 ball twice? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry,
She showed out. I mean that,
it's cooked.
but those are the games that you want your star to get up for.
Yeah.
Let's get into. Let's look at this tournament.
Now this is gonna. I don't fucking know how this one gonna go. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because that fucking Maryland game, I'm still thinking about that shit, bro. Like, it's etched in my brain. Like every day, it's on like fucking loop. And if you did not
Tournament.
watch the Maryland fucking Ohio State game, just
Yeah.
go watch the overtime. Just watch it. Anyways,
Um.
Washington beat Minnesota.
Tournament. bracket presented by IFS AI. No wonder this looks like shit.
Um, Washington beat Minnesota. I beat
Enter.
Wisconsin. I don't know who did Nebraska beat
I
nothing.
gotta put Nebraska beat Rutgers by 24.
Oh my God. Um, yeah, I don't
And
know.
Iowa beat Wisconsin. Actually, none of these games were close. The closest game was Washington, Minnesota, and Washington won that game by 14.
Which I feel like I want to be shocked by. Not because I think Washington is bad, but because I thought Minnesota was better than that. But I don't know.
Yeah, they had similar records too, because
Yeah.
Minnesota was 20 and 11. Washington was 19 and 12. But
Okay.
Washington had one more conference win. Or were they counting today as that conference win? I don't know.
Uh, my picks for this. UCLA needs to win. I'm gonna just UCLA is in the same position that South Carolina is in, that you need to win this tournament so the discourse can stop. That's it. Like I no other reason other than to end the discourse. Um, my sleeper pick though is Maryland.
So does every conference other than the Big 12 have a team that needs to win for discourse purposes?
Yes. No, the
Yeah,
Big 12 does too, low key. Cause like um they was calling Baylor ass. So they kind of need for the opposite side of the discourse so people can respect them.
people can say that for real.
Yeah. So kind of yeah. Everybody gotta lock in. Somebody at every conference gotta lock in. Uh yeah. I need UCLA to win it, but I think Maryland is my sleeper pick. Um, but obviously USC is like, if I'm being for real, I think it's USC. But Maryland gonna be my sleeper pick. They on like a little, they got a little juice right now. So
Jay, are you gonna
Yeah.
carry the Ohio State torch?
Okay, so here's the thing. So I was heavy on the Ohio State bandwagon last season. Um, and this season, up to this point, I've been on the Maryland bandwagon. So imagine how conflicted I was watching that game last week. And watching, and watching it was really funny at the end. I'm sorry. Like it
bro,
was just like that
bro,
game we please go back and watch it. Please go back and watch it.
Jay,
Um
when she slid on the floor, I said, "What the fuck is happening?" And then this shot happened like not even 2 seconds later. I said, I literally was sitting on my couch with my glasses on, and I was like, they not gonna call. And then the shit kept going, and I just like stood up and
the
like
shot
went
is
back
like
because I was like, what the fuck? Like, did I see that right?
I was like, there is no way.
No way.
Like there is like what an ending to that game.
Yeah, bro. That was crazy. I,
But yeah, I would like to see my Terps win it.
Maryland low key
But
needed though for PR purposes as well. Because the
yeah,
streets stopped believing them after Bree McDaniel went down.
they did. They did. And it didn't help that Shy Settlers had that injury too.
Hmm.
But but they the win that last win does it helps their image a little bit. But I think if they can Maryland beat USC?
It was a close game with Bree McDaniels, but without her, I just don't know. Simply because they don't have anybody to defend Juju. And
Like
I don't
you
even
like
mean
that's
like shut down, but we need like you need to make it a little bit hard for her. Like you need to I mean they and honestly they could do a little like there are some obviously some other schemes that they could run to like work that out. Um if they could figure out a way to guard Juju, I think they can. Because I think Emily no. Yes, Emily Fisher. The way she defended Cody,
mhm.
I was moved. I was moved by that. Um Sailor can be pretty good. Um the other thing though I think is that Kayleen has to be on. My sister cannot be she cannot be having that game where like she be locked in and then she come out for a quarter and be like I ain't got it. You have to keep scoring, sister. You can't really take days off. Um, so I think they can, but it will be hard.
I think Juju's about to go on a crazy belt to ass tour on route to this tournament championship.
I don't know. I feel like she already
So
got smoked for UCLA. I ain't gonna lie to you.
okay, so
He
that
played
was gonna
nobody
be
else like
so
this.
my my next question was can Ohio State beat UCLA?
The last time they played UCLA, I mean Ohio State ain't have an answer for you for Lauren Betts.
All right, yeah.
Which isn't really necessarily the problem, but like the last time they played, I feel like Ohio State really could have won that game, but they just stopped being serious. Like Jelani, it seemed like Jelani Cambridge was the only player that was like, "Yeah, I'm showing up to work today." So if they could play them like they played Maryland, I think they can. But are they gonna do that? That's the real tea. That's the real
Yeah,
tea.
and see, it's always obviously by asking can they beat them? Obviously they can. I mean, but more so based on what we've seen so far, what is the path? And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe in Ohio State too much. But I will say when Jelani Cambridge and Cody McMahon are locked in, and Taylor Theory
Mhm.
is the Swiss Army knife. When she on one, I believe in them more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Um, so who plays tomorrow? Indiana, Oregon, um, Nebraska, Illinois, Washington, and Michigan, and Iowa, Michigan State.
That's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to see. That's the one I want to see.
Oh
What time is that
God.
game?
It should come
What
on
time
at
is
what
that
about
game?
9 o'clock? That's gonna be
Okay.
sick. I'll fight. Good luck to them.
Oh, it says 25. Yeah, it says 25 minutes after Illinois. Hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Ooh. And then we went through all the Power Four conferences. I don't think the Big East came out with their awards yet, or did I miss them?
Let me see.
Do we miss Pac-12?
What is the Pac-12?
Did I mix up Pac-12 and Big 12?
The Pac-12 no longer exists.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
like,
oh, oh,
yeah.
oh. Sorry, my bad. I fucked up.
Real bad, big dog. We was like, we just talked about UCLA. Like, what you talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, rip to them. But
It
yeah,
will be back, hopefully.
I am a silly goose.
they need to come back. These girls drive across.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see. Am I missing Big East awards? Because
I
I'm
don't
kind of
think they came out with them because I know UConn didn't like. I'm sure Paige is gonna be Player of the Year. Um, and they didn't post about her, so I didn't think they came out. But I'm like, y'all shit is over. Y'all should have been had y'all votes in.
Are they gonna run through their tournament?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't think UConn like I think they beat everybody
Yeah.
by 20. No notes. Like what? Mm-mm. Rip to them girls.
Let me see who. Let me look at it.
What else are we gonna talk about? Conference
Yeah, they
award.
don't even know. Let me see. The Big East. Yeah, UConn, Creighton, Seton Hall, Marquette, Villanova. Those are the only teams with winning records
Yeah, sound about right.
in the conference. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In conference,
Nasty
St.
work.
John's was 15 and 14. St. John's was 15 and 14, but they were 5 and 13 in conference.
Yeah. Sorry to them. Um, what else are we gonna talk about? Last week's games. We kind of talked about UCLA and Maryland. I mean, UCLA and USC and then Maryland and Ohio. Did y'all watch any other games last week?
Uh, Texas, Florida was a game until it wasn't.
Texas is so unserious. This is why I can't believe in them. Was that when they played Georgia last week too? They scored fucking like 20 points in a half.
Oh, that's right. Like their game shouldn't have been close. Like they,
And then for them to like to make it a 30-point
yeah.
game in the last
Now
quarter, I
they
was like,
did.
y'all
Yeah,
not for real.
yeah. I know that. Yeah, they ended up beating Georgia by 31.
It's like, no, y'all did not. I mean, y'all beat them by 31, but y'all ain't beat them by 31. I don't like that. That was stupid. South Carolina looked really good against Kentucky. I said, thank you, Jesus. Please carry this
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. They needed a. They didn't just need a win. They needed a convincing win.
Yes, agreed. The Ole Miss upset LSU. We talked about that. Virginia, UVA upset UNC, which I did not see coming. Kamora Johnson had another near triple double. The girl is onto something. 15, 9, and 11 on five steals. Like, come on. And she's on to something.
Oh, okay.
I wonder when Utsby and Renee Kelly are coming back because that's going to make a difference, I think, for UNC.
Let me see.
Prayers for Essence.
This is
Oh, the fucking last week was also Georgia beating Tennessee, where we got that nasty discourse about
oh
um
yeah.
Tennessee not needing to fire Kelly Harper. And y'all are going to prison for that. Y'all going to prison for that. I don't care. Like, I understand Georgia was not
Yeah,
supposed to
no, I'm not saying
win.
that it wasn't a bad. Like that was it was a bad loss, but and I know that, when teams lose a game like that, people be like, okay, so whose fault is it? And they immediately go do that thing. But like, do we have to do that?
Like, no,
I
we
know
shouldn't have did
we do.
that.
I know
Fuck.
it's the I know it's the nature of the discourse machine, but we don't have to do that. But I understand the frustration and fans being like, that's a game that you don't even look at on your schedule as a loss,
Yeah.
as a potential loss.
They shouldn't have lost that game. They really shouldn't have lost. But in the same token, that to me is still like I feel like Kim Caldwell has done enough for me that like we talk about a coach that's new to a conference that actually did like your team is 8-8 in one of which you're a 9 seed in the toughest conference in the country. I think you did good. Like especially when you start looking at some of those losses and they're
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
5 points or less. You'll work out the kinks. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that was a kind of nasty loss. I
All
hate
all
this
things
Georgia
considered,
loss. But yeah. That was a Baylor TCU game. Oh, my favorite game last week was Iowa State upsetting Kansas State. I
oh,
think they played that game for me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I think they did it for me. Oh, he had 36.
your youngins.
Emily Ryan played the best basketball she's ever played all year. Serena Sundell was good. I was so bad.
Yeah. Audie Crooks had 36 and 10.
On 14 and 18 shooting. She couldn't fucking miss. Emily Ryan has 17 and 10. Like, come, like, it has to
17, yes,
be,
17, 7, and 10 is the
that has to be her best game this season. They needed that. I needed that. I really needed that. Not gonna lie, I needed that. Maybe more than they did, because they were stressing me bad. I needed that. But I'm not even worried about it next year. This year, this season to me is like a wash. It's cool. I already accepted that they're not done, but like we gonna wrap it up soon. Um, but next year, Addie Brown gonna be out of this sophomore shooting slump. It is up. It's up. It's up. So I'll
I
be
love how Iowa State has turned into your version of Jade's Ohio State.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me or for them, I flip flop too much, so I'm not loyal. I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. I will turn on you, and that game was it was not a good look. It was not a good look for my Buckeyes, but it was a great look for my Terps. So
I will turn on you. That's hilarious.
I will, but I don't mean any harm though. I still love y'all.
I think is there anything else we're missing?
Bro, why am I seeing a picture of Stephanie Dolson and Drake right now?
What?
He needs to stay away from her for no particular reason. He just needs to stay
She's
away.
old. Hold on. Like, please don't be disrespectful right now. I can't. The caption says TBT, that moment you meet Drake in your own locker room and he says, "This is the hug I've been waiting for. Hashtag not real life. Hashtag bring me back." Look how he's fucking hugging her. I need the light to fix so y'all can see this
It's
picture.
crazy because it's not it that shit is not like you could tell. Even though that picture is not clear, you could tell.
You like look how fucking hard this nigga is smiling. Oh, there we go.
He looked like he met her.
Like, oh my God, I'm your
I
biggest
mean,
fan. Drake has never beaten allegations. Any of them. It don't matter what the allegation is. He's never gonna beat it.
What year was that?
I don't fucking know. This is so funny. 2013.
That's
yeah,
so that's
yeah.
so
That's yeah.
random.
Stan Twitter is crazy because why you going that far back on that lady
Why
ass?
did you like? How did y'all find that? Like what made y'all be like, let's go look at some old Steph Dawson
Don't like
pictures and see what comes up.
This makes me scared. I feel like this is the year that WNBA Twitter gets music counts, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh no.
no, they
Oh
need to
no.
ban them.
We need a Muse account block list. So I can
We're
just
gonna it's gonna
go
be
down the line.
it's gonna be a Kendi Carter music account, and we're gonna find out it's ran by Kendi Carter.
I'm screaming. Oh my God. That is so funny. Cleveland Cavaliers have clinched the playoff berth. Congrats to those people. Maybe not actually.
Congrats to them. I like them. I like them. I saw that they just beat Miami in a it was a heartbreaking game. It appeared to be. Got my fair share of those. But all hearts and minds are clear on this end.
I
Sure.
believe all hearts and minds are clear on this end.
Yeah, I don't think we, yeah, I think I'm pretty good to go.
By the time we talk to y'all next week, these tournaments will have concluded. So it will be some very funny discourse to be told, and I'm very excited. But
I hope I'm on the right side of history.
that's all we can hope is that we're on the right side of history. I hope my hot takes come true because then it'll be funny. I love chaos. That's what I need, maximum chaos.
That's see, and that's what I root for in March. Like, of course, I have teams where I'm like, I would like to see this team win, but I have to root for chaos above all.
Is the reveal on the 16th?
Let's see.
I said I think the tournament is supposed to start on the 20th. I feel like I read that somewhere, but I could be lying.
Yes, the reveal is the 16th.
Okay. Yeah, next week, guys. March Madness is upon us. That means the WNBA is one step closer. And we'll get
Draft
back
stuff.
to new discourse. Yay.
There's nothing I love more than discourse. Can't you tell by my face?
Yeah. Oh, wait. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Fucking white women are the scammers of the year, okay? Marina Mabry, Sabrina Ionescu. Look, Nika
You know
Mule,
what?
Nika Mule, come like
Who
dog scam
who's
dog
having
way.
a? Oh, I forgot. I saw the Nika Mule. She signed the deal with Under Armour. I did see that.
Like how the fuck did Nika
Was it
Mule
Under
get a
Armour?
deal with Under
Yes,
Armour?
it
Yes,
was Under Armour.
like
Yeah, and I saw Marina Mabry. I applaud you. Like she has had one of the best off seasons. Like she got to go to Unrivaled. She got paid. She got the ownership stock. She got injured, and she was able to get paid in rehab.
she was having a
I
good
can't
time
think of anything better.
fucking cooking.
And oh yeah, and make cooking content. Make cooking
That is
content.
not why you
There's
here.
nothing, there is
We said
nothing
this
wrong.
before. The only way that her offseason
Sammy
could
said
have
it.
gotten better.
Sammy said it's Cam Brink getting paid. Yes, Cam Brink is also getting paid
Yes,
because
so she got
I think Cam Brink signed a is it a 2 year or a 3 year unrivaled contract?
Yeah. Probably 2 years though. Yeah, no.
so
That's what I'm saying. White women
Cambrick.
really won this year.
So Marina really won. The only way her offseason could have went better is if she got traded to the team that she wanted to. Connecticut couldn't let her have too much fun, so I understand.
Yeah,
But
you can't get it all. Like baby steps. You know what? We can get closer to the season and they could be like, all right, we'll see about it.
We're just joking. We will let you go. No, fuck
that
that. She need to stay.
draft night, she might get her way, but we'll see.
Fuck that. She need to stay
I
her
think
ass.
she need to
That's
stay because I think she too used to getting what she want to, and this is just not how shit's supposed to work.
Or her ass getting sent to Valkyries. You're not gonna win. At least you'll have nice things though. You still kind of win, I
yeah,
guess.
they got nice stuff. They got nice stuff. I could put up I could put up a bunch of shots and lose. And if the facility's nice enough, I make it work.
Look, ain't nobody expects your team to be good anyway. So who cares what you
Right.
do? But yeah, this is the year of the white women apparently, and that's not really good for me. Um, but shout out to them. Sabrina Nescu gets the she showed up last and get the lead first. That's just
And but you know what? It's funny because I feel like that was probably the reason that she wasn't listed on draft night. She was like, y'all, I got shit to do. Like like
cannot be a good girl.
I appreciate the call, but I'm busy.
So I
And they was
got
like,
fashion week and this sneaker tour. I don't want to talk to y'all.
yeah, I have to respect it. I'm sorry. I have
I
to
do too,
respect it.
honestly. Like the fucking colorways is fire. Like she
No,
gotta.
this is so okay. Sabrina shoes is clean. Like,
They have made some of the coldest basketball shoes for her like ever. Like I've never seen a bad colorway for those.
yeah, like she's and even like even the silhouette in terms of basketball shoes, they're some of my favorites since the Kyries and the PG shoes that Nike had. Like
Mhm.
the Sabrina silhouette is really clean.
Yeah. Honestly, them fucking peach ones, like I might have to go buy them. I didn't buy the first ones because like when I tried them on, they were just like too tight. But like we might have to just go try on the twos again. Or try on the twos and then and bring those home because they're kind of legit. I don't know. My brother
Yeah,
actually
no, they are.
so
Yeah. Uh, if all hearts and minds are clear, this has been another episode of Club 3. I am Paragon Don,
I'm Jabang.
And I'm Jay Trent.
and we are out.
Okay, so. Oh.